Hey BookTube, Chelsea the Reading Outlaw here to give you guys my Reading Rush announcement video and TBR, like officially. So for those of you who don't know, the Reading Rush was originally the BookTubeathon and has been going on for several years under that name. I think this is either its 4th or 5th year. I've made TBRs almost every year for this challenge and failed miserably every time. So I'm hoping that their rebranding will give me the opportunity to like get that shit done and get it handled. The Reading Rush this year is running from July 22nd, which is today, the day that this video is going up, through the end of the week, July 28th. There are 7 reading challenges plus the 8th reading challenge of reading 7 books. So obviously if you pick a different book for every challenge, you will complete that bonus challenge. There are also video challenges that have yet to be announced. I'm not sure how many of those I'll actually do. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew and try to like make doing those a goal on top of like actually just reading all the books I say I'm gonna read, which sounds like a very simplistic thing and the entire point of the readathon, and yet it's still something that I'm very, very bad at. So there are badges this year, a whole new website where you can keep track of like the number of pages that you read and engage with like other readers and be more social. So all of that is really, really great and will be linked down below. As always, I just don't know how much of that I'll participate in. It is always my goal to do as much of that as possible. But at the end of the day, I really just actually want to read 7 books in a week because I have fallen wicked behind on the amount that I want to read this year. And it would just like feel really awesome to myself to actually get all 7 books read. So the 7 challenges. So the first challenge is to read a book with purple on the cover. For this, I will be reading Not the Girl You Marry by Andy J. Christopher. This is literally just like a gender swapped How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, in which Jack is a reporter who's been relegated to the how-to column instead of writing about politics like he really wants to. So he decides he's going to do How to Lose a Girl, and then he meets Hannah, who is this like high-level event planner, and she just refuses to be shaken. So it literally does sound like a gender swapped How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. But I don't care. I'm here for that. I love that movie. So I'm really excited to see how changing the flipping the genders of the main characters affects the dynamic of that at all. It'll be really interesting to see. I really love Andy's work, and so I'm very excited for this one. The next challenge number 2, is a book that you read all in the same place. And there was a little bit of confusion at first. This does not mean you have to read it all in one sitting. It's not like you have to sit down, finish the book, and then get up from your spot. It's like one book that you only have one place where you read it. So I basically designated a car book. My husband's home from work right now, and he generally drives when he's home, so I sit passenger, and I don't mind reading in the car. So I picked His Hideous Heart, which is edited by Dahlia Adler, but it features work by people like Rin Chapeko and Kendari Blake and all of these other really wonderful YA author names, basically doing reimagining of Edgar Allan Poe stories. So if you just heard my internal squeal at the thought of a short story collection of young adult heavy hitters doing reimaginings of Edgar Allan Poe, that is like in my wheelhouse du jour extreme. So I'm hoping that because they're short stories, like reading them in the car, all of that should like overlap really well and hopefully will actually help me get the book done. Challenge number 3 is to read a book that you meant to read last year and didn't. So for this, I chose Blanca Roja, which is by Anna Marie McLemore. This came out in October. I love Anna Marie McLemore's prose. I love the queerness of her stories. I love the beauty that she crafts stories with. And this is a retelling of Snow White and Rose Red that also like has a really heavy-handed, like heavy-hitting sister dynamics and family dynamics, which is also something that Anna does really well. And I just meant to get to this last year when I was doing like a little Anna Marie McLemore like binge, and I never did. I got too wrapped up in some of her other books, and the hold on this one was due back at the library. So I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna read this queer contemporary retelling of Rose Red and Snow White, and I'm actually really, really excited. This might be like one of my favorite challenges for the Reading Rush this year. Challenge number 4 might be a little bit of a cop-out, but I don't really care. It's a read an author's first book. So for this one, I picked Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. Yes, again. Yes, that would make it the 3rd time I've reread it this year. No, I don't care. I love this book. This book is my heart on the outside of my body. I love it a lot. If you're wondering what happened to this book, what happened is Amazon left it out in the rain, basically. And I put it in the freezer to salvage it, but the first like half up to like there-ish. Just it didn't escape the water, unfortunately. If you have not seen this book, I feel like everybody that I know on Instagram has fallen head over heels for this book, and it is everywhere. This book is about Alex Claremont Diaz, who's the first son of the United States, and his like hate to love romance with Henry Windsor, who is the Prince of England, who's the royal prince. And it is witty, it is soft, it is beautiful, it is warm. That's the only way I know how to describe this book. It makes me feel warm. I bought t-shirts from this book. I bought fan art from this book. I have clipped Tumblr quotes. I changed the background of my phone for this book. I love this book a lot. So I'm going to re-listen to it on audio for the reading rush because I want to. Challenge number 5 is to read a book with a non-human main character, and for this I picked Into the Drowning Deep by Myra Grant. Myra Grant is one of the pen names of Shannon McGuire, who is of Toby Day fame, who has done the Wayward Children books, who is just, Shannon is all over the place when it comes to SFF, and one of her pen names is Myra Grant. The other books under this name were the Feed books, the zombie books. I really loved the first one in that series, and then the second two I had huge problems with for spoiler reasons. Hit me up in the DMs if you want to know why. But this book is essentially all about mermaids, and from what I understand, they are like legit mermaids, like scary, creepy, what you would imagine underwater creatures who are also humanoid to actually be. So these aren't your like Little Mermaid, Ariel, fuzzy mermaids. This shit is like dark, and I am very, very excited for it. I'm very excited for it. I'm also very excited for a mermaid book. Like, I love dragons. I love all of that stuff. Mermaids. More mermaid books, guys. I'm feeling that this year. More mermaid book. Then we have the last 2 challenges. Number 6 is pick a book that has more than 5 words in the title. Well, 5 or more words. And I picked a poetry collection. The Princess Saves Herself in this one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by Amanda Loveless. This is her first collection. There's been another one that has come out since then that I also want, that's got a red cover but very similar styling. Yeah, this is a collection of poetry that I read digitally and was gifted for Christmas. I haven't read it since the very first time I read it, and because it's a poetry collection, it should be short, it should go fast, and I really love everything that Amanda has to say in here in terms of like the feminist message and the anger and the cutting way that she's able to write the story that she writes, both within each individual poem and then also cresting from poem to poem. So I'm really, really excited to get back into this and have a physical copy that I can actually do some like marking up on. And then challenge number 7 is book to movie adaptation, which is of course read the book and then, as you do, watch the movie. I have picked, no surprise to anybody that knows me, Gatsby. It is time yet again to do my summer reread of Gatsby, my gross, disgusting, privileged, lying, trash children whom I love. I will read this one and then I will watch, which one will I watch? Will I watch the Robert Redford one, or will I indulge my heart's desire and watch the Baz Luhrmann monstrosity? I just don't know, because one has Robert Redford and the other one has everything else. We will see. Stay tuned, y'all. But I will be rewatching The Great Gatsby. Literary Disco just did an episode on this, which I will link down below. I really love that podcast. And they are talking about this book and what a wonderful book it is in terms of like what it represents about the American dream and the power of the prose. I know most people out there don't like this book, and it's because a lot of people in this book are awful people. They're not good people to read about, but I love this book a lot, and if you've been around my channel at all, you know that about me. So what better book to do the book to movie adaptation challenge for than one that I already know so well and love so dearly. And that's it. If I can manage to read all 7 of those books in a week, I will also get my 8th challenge, or my 8th like special challenge badge. I'm really hoping to do that. Keep your fingers crossed for me, as I will keep my fingers crossed for all of you. If you are participating in the Reading Rush, let me know down below. Let me know what's on your TBR. If you're skipping it this year, let me know why. I know challenges don't always work for everyone or coincide with everybody's schedules. So yeah, let me know down below what's going on in your life, bookish and otherwise. And until next time, friends, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and have happy reading.